Yes, sir. No Limit Soldier, baby. Master P. If there was a heaven for a gangster. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Shakeback Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. holding it down, rolling solo. Once again, it is on. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, Shakeback Media Group, BGC Sports Network, Willie Epting Jr., LinkedIn, as well as YouTube, and of course, Twitter. Make sure you guys go out there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and like the Facebook page for all three. Okay, so in the second segment, we started breaking down the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Playoffs? Yep, that is what we did. As a matter of fact, Coach, I think you can do it better than I can. So, give it to him if you don't mind for me.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
So that's where we are. I guess there's some very little humor with that. But anyway, so yeah, we began breaking down the playoffs. And we also finished up on Damar Hamlin. I want to get to some college football here in just a second because the college football season, of course, concluded with the Dogs and the Frogs live out in SoFi Stadium out in LA this past Monday. And if you want to call it a game, that's fine. I'm not going to call it that. I'm just going to call it a drubbing because that's really what it was. And I'm also going to get to some NFL with regard to Derek Carr and some coaching changes as well. But before we do that, let's finish this thing up strong, man. This third and final segment, it is being brought to you by Simple Simon's Pizza. It is now they are now in Crowley, Texas with carry-out, curbside service, and more. Customers can place their orders online at simplesimonpizza.com or call in or order inside of the store. The menu features the classic Simple Simon's Pizza, Original Calzone, and the Beast Pizza, a 30-inch pizza topped with all your favorite toppings. Since 1983, Simple Simon's Pizza has maintained a plain and simple vision statement to glorify God by promoting family values and helping others to succeed. And the mission statement, which is to provide simply the best customer service. So stop by Simple Simon's Pizza today, located at 208 Main Street, Suite C, Crowley, Texas, 76036, or give them a call, 817-945-2485. Tell them that your boy from the Shakeback Sports Show, the Shakeback Media Group, and of course, the Big Game Christian Sports told you to holler at them so y'all can get it on with your pizza grubbings. Okay, dopest engineer in the game, Big Day. Appreciate you throwing that Master P in there, the instrumental version of that. To me, that's one of the all-time greatest beats, but that's just what that is. Okay, so let's go right here back to the NFL because the Houston Texans fired first-year head coach Lovie Smith. And I'm going to be a little redundant because this is what it is, because that's really what they are. They fired first-year head coach Lovie Smith after 1 year. 1 year after firing head coach David Culley after 1 year. Okay, now we all know that, well, those of us that follow the NFL and in particular, if you're a Houston Texans fan, you know the ins and outs of what's going on in terms of African-American coaches and the lack thereof of getting viable and really quality opportunities to be the head coach in the National Football League. It is a travesty what continues to go on because the league is 70 to 75% African-American. And right now you only have one head coach, one African-American head coach in the entire league. And that, of course, is Mike Tomlin. And oh, by the way, can we get up to Mike Tomlin? Because he yet finished another year not below 500. The Steelers finished 9-8 and were in the playoff picture all the way up into the last game. And but for a New York Jets team that could not outduel Skylar Thompson with veteran Joe Flacco, had they been able to beat the Dolphins the Steelers would have been in as opposed to the Dolphins. But yeah, so back to this whole Houston, Texas debacle, because that's exactly what it is. Number one, the Rooney Rule is a joke. I understand the spirit of it, but the spirit of it and the rule of it are not the same, because to have such a rule in place really is a slap in the face of all those qualified applicants of a melanin persuasion out there, because there are more than just a few capable African-American head coaches such as Eric Bieniemy. Who knows? David Culley could have done something had he been given the opportunity and the correct and the proper tools to load that team up. It's the reason why DeAndre Hopkins left. It's the reason why Deshaun Watson wanted out. It's the reason why J.J. Watt even said to Deshaun Watson, hey, man, I'm sorry. And I'm paraphrasing. Hey, man, I'm sorry. We suck, and we are wasting your prime. Now, for J.J. Watt, and congratulations to him on a terrific career, because he just retired and played his last game for the Arizona Cardinals, hashtag Birdland football or Bird City football. He just retired, and he will be a walk-in Hall of Famer, in my opinion. But back to these issues with head coaches, black head coaches in the NFL. Why is it that it is so hard? Why is it that it is such a pulling of teeth, or really it's like having to have Congress enact something in order for African-American coaches in the National Football League to get a viable and a realistic and a quality chance? We don't get those jobs. We don't get those jobs. Sean McVay, he has a tree. Andy Reid, he has a tree. Mike Tomlin, they won't even let him have a tree because he's got assistants out there that have gone to different places. Bill Belichick has got a tree. And Bill Belichick's tree, yeah, all the leaves have fallen off because all of his assistants have sucked on the NFL level. And that includes head coach Josh McFarland of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is probably the worst of them all. Well, I can't really say that because Matt Patricia, when he was in Detroit, was pretty bad. Joe Judge, when he was with the Giants, was pretty bad. Bill O'Brien had some semblance of success in Houston. He did win a couple of division championships down there, and they did go to the playoffs. But other than that, I mean, you got people like DeMeco Ryans. You have people like Eric Bieniemy. You have people like Brian Flores, who got railroaded out of Miami. You have people like Gerard Mayo. You have people like Ken Norton Jr. And that's just 5 candidates or 6 candidates in itself. So what are you going to do, NFL? I mean, the players aren't going to just be like, yo, we're not going to play, because that's their livelihood. That's their livelihood. The problem is this, ladies and gentlemen. There are no majority African-American owners in the National Football League. They wouldn't even let Donald Trump in, because Donald Trump, who sued the NFL back in the 80s when he was the owner of the USFL. Yes, that same USFL that the homie Kevontae Turpin for the Dallas Cowboys was the MVP of, and is now a Pro Bowler. That same league all those years ago, Donald Trump owned it. He sued the NFL and was awarded $1. So then fast forwarded, Donald Trump tries to get back in. I think he was trying to buy the Panthers at one point. I'm not exactly sure, but they wouldn't let him in because they remember him trying to sue the NFL, or actually suing the NFL. But then when Donald Trump became president, and the players, again, the NFL is 70 to 75% melanin. Actually, more than that when you throw in the brown skin. So then what happens? He hijacked the narrative by Colin Kaepernick and said that he was disrespecting the flag when we all know that wasn't the case. So there's not enough owners. There's no owners, shall I say, when it comes to that. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Simply because there are plenty of brothers and sisters out there that's got plenty of money that could put together an investment group to purchase an NFL franchise. I'm thinking of the likes of Condoleezza Rice. I'm thinking, of course, about Oprah Winfrey. I'm thinking about Rihanna. I'm thinking about all these women out here who have so much money and so many resources and so much influence and cachet. And that's just the women that I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the men. So I'm making a plea. I'm making a plea to people out there, my brothers and sisters that are the same shade of color as I am. Can you pull your resources together and let's do something about this? Now, what I do like is that there's competition with other leagues in football. They're never going to surpass the NFL in terms of revenue and popularity and all those things, marketing. They just don't have the resources for that. And it's really, the NFL really is a glorified monopoly. Although, yeah, you have the USFL and you've had the XFL and you have these arena leagues and all that. But I mean, come on, really and truly, it's nothing compared to what the NFL has become. And all of us out there that have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever social media platform that you like to be on or is your favorite, it's our fault. It's our fault because the NFL really has shown us that they can do no wrong, and we will still love the game and watch it. That's just what it is. I got a social media comment here from my brother Landa. Landa, I owe you an email. I'm going to get that to you, sir, sometime on Saturday. Landa Jeray Morgan, he is an avid Dallas Cowboys fan. Landa, let me hint you on to something real quick. You might not want to go back and watch the second segment because I kind of tore into your Cowboys a little bit. But he says, facts, no way he should have been fired after just one season. The Texans team is a dumpster fire. That's putting it nicely, Landa. That's putting it very, very diplomatically, politically, and even Christian-like, because what they've done down there, and the Texans is that franchise that had the owner that said, I am not going to it's like letting the prisoners run the asylum or something to that effect that he said. Okay, again, the NFL is 75% African American. The Houston Texans team at that point, I want to say, was probably 90% African American. Why are you referring to these dudes as prisoners? They're your employees, yes. They are the product that you pay for to put on the field, and they actually were very good at the time. They beat the Raiders in a playoff game in the divisional round back in 2016 when Derek Carr broke his leg. But that's just what that is. And NFL, do better, be better, get better, all that. Okay, let me finish up the show. I actually want to congratulate the University of Georgia, the Bulldogs. They just hammered the Horned Frogs from TCU 65-7. It was over as soon as the matchup was made, and then it was even more over after they stepped on the field. It was 38-7 at halftime, and Georgia could have really put up 100 points if they wanted to. They really could have, but you don't do that in that realm or on that level of competition, although it is TCU's job or whoever's job to stop them, because in college football you may have up to 100 and some odd players and they want to get on the field and score too. And to me, this just lends to the fact that we're going to see the 12-team college playoff. I don't know how successful it's going to be, because when you pit these types of teams like TCU against the Georgias, against the Alabamas, against we saw what they did to Michigan, but those upper tier type of teams in those upper tier conferences, that's what that is. Tino, what's up, man? I appreciate you checking in. We got to get out of here in just a minute, but I want to talk about Derek Carr before I go. As you may or may not know, the Raiders have moved on from Derek Carr. He will be a free agent, or they will cut him if they cannot find a trade partner. There are a couple of teams that are interested in Derek Carr, one being the Jets, possibly even the Saints. I would love to see Derek Carr in Miami. That is if Tua does not return because of the concussions that he's had. 3 of them diagnosed this season alone. I would love to see Derek Carr in Miami with that team, with those weapons, with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki at tight end. They've got a really decent offensive line. I think he would flourish under the offensive tutelage of one Mike McDaniel. People have their issues with Derek Carr. I understand it. I get it. I actually am a Derek Carr fan. I wish him nothing but the best. But I understand that sometimes, man, it just doesn't work out. And he had been in Oakland / Las Vegas for 9 total years. and had one playoff appearance. And you can't really say that that's entirely his fault, because the teams that he was on, even when we went to the playoffs in 2016 before he broke his leg, that defense was one of the best defenses that had been under his tenure, and it was the middle of the road defense, and that was the best one that he's been with. All right, that's it. I'm going to get out of here, man. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all love each other. Y'all hug each other. And we'll holler at y'all again real soon. Peace up. Peace. Up next is my big homie Donald Ware from Pressbox Press Row. Make sure y'all check him out, man. I'm out of here. We'll holler at y'all again real soon. Peace.